G'day guys. Okay, here is the layout that I have been bragging about. I absolutely love how this turns out. Okay, so what I'm using is my Poppy Crafts alcohol inks. Now, if you've been here for more than 5 minutes, you will know that last time I used these inks, I made one heck of a mess. I wasn't happy with the results, and it kind of led me to shelving my inks and not touching them. But I figured I'd give it one more shot, and I've been thinking about different things I could do with them. Now this is what I pulled out. I pulled out a sheet of acetate, just normal, plain, boring acetate. There's nothing special about it. It's literally just, I think it's Poppy Crafts brand. It's literally cheap acetate. Pulled out a sheet, and then I pulled out and I put nothing else on it. I'm sitting it on top of a piece of white cardstock and lots of paper towel in case I make a giant mess like I did last time. And all I'm doing is just putting dots down. I'm just watching it wick out into the other colors, just trying to create a bold, bright, colorful sheet of acetate. Pretty much that's what I'm going with. Now, what you can see here is, notice that one of the purples and the red, for some reason, they fade out to almost nothing. They look kind of dirty. I don't know if that was the ink itself. I have no idea what it is, but sometimes that is what happens when that's the trouble I had with the inks last time I used them. It could be the quality of ink that I'm using. It could be the product. It could be I'm using it wrong. There's a plethora of things that it could be. However, I overcome it by pulling out slightly different colors out of the box. When I bought these, I think there's 20 something inks in there. They're just a variety of different colors, including some metallics and black and white. Which I haven't used on this particular piece because last time I used them, they gave me grief. So in order to avoid the grief, I'm literally just having fun. Putting it down and having fun. I absolutely love how that green and yellow just melt together. I can't even describe it. It was so much fun doing this. I really had fun, and I didn't get super messy. The next step was a little bit messier than this one, but last time, look at that blue just coming down the side. It just was so good. The reason I'm covering the entire layout is because, the entire sheet, is because I'm actually using a cut file for this particular layout. Now, the sheet that I'm creating at the moment is going to be essentially what I back my cut file with. How cool does that look when you turn it over? You've got the gloss. So anyone that knows me knows I love some metallic or glitter. Subscribe for more like this. If you're like me, I like shine, glitter, metallic, something on on every layout. I like a bit of shine. To me, shine can be something reflective. So it could be mirror cardstock. It could be glossy accents. It could be glitter. It could be a metallic pen. It could be that there's literally so many things that I would class as shine. Just the fact that this is acetate is giving me shine that you can't really get on anything else. Like it's reflection is what it is. So what I decided to do, now my inspiration for this piece is not the cut file. I didn't start with the cut file. I didn't start with any of that. My actual inspiration was lead light. Lead light. That's it. That's what my inspiration was. Now, I do zoom this in shortly so you can see more of what I'm actually drawing around. I'm hopeless at like zooming in. I don't know. I think because I just hit record and go, I forget You know, you can zoom in with your camera, Karen. I forget about stuff like that. Now, so basically my inspiration for this was LED light. I love, something that I absolutely love doing is driving around and seeing architecture, old churches, old buildings, any of those things I absolutely love seeing. You know what? I'm going to tell you something funny. I've just realised that my shirt's inside out, and two of my children and my husband have all seen me this morning, all hugged me goodbye, and not one of them told me my shirt was inside out. Glad I didn't go out. Look, you know, it's life. It's mum life. Hashtag mum life. Anyway, get my shirt around the right way. Now, basically, I love cruising around and seeing... See, I can't believe I just told you that. I love looking at architecture. I love LED light. You know, the old style where they've literally used the LED and the glass, and I just love it. And that's what I drew my inspiration from. Is this LED light? No. But it kind of has a liking to it. You know, it's similar. It's got the same esque look. Look, I'm grabbing at straws. Let me grab at some straws. Had my shirt inside out, and it's Monday morning. Let's just see if the week improves. Okay, I zoomed in for you. There you go. Probably on the worst piece that I... See, some bits actually look better than others. What I'm using on this... Now, remember, I did turn this over. So I'm not using my Posca pen directly on the alcohol ink. I'm actually just tracing it on the flip side. And it's giving that kind of wiggly squiggly look that normally would be very well placed LED on the window, you know, to create the LED light look. I'm using the gold to pretty much kill off the... See how when they join and they dry, some of the colours have sort of... I'd like to say they muddied, but they didn't go muddy like you would expect. They've kind of just gone really dark and more broody colours. And I feel when I put the gold over the top, that improves. So this is where I apologise. My neighbour just started his motorbike. Sorry about that. And yeah, so this is what I did. Now, I did leave all of this in, and yes, I have sped this up big time because no one wants to sit and watch this entire process. Actually, believe it or not, I'll be completely truthful with you. This whole process only took me 40 minutes. From start to finish, oh, there's Jen's hand. I did this on a Sunday. So that actually only took me 40 minutes to get to that point. Now, here's my cut file. The cut file is a cut to you cut file from the wonderful Gwen. Now, I grabbed this cut file for a couple of reasons. I grabbed it because it's got stars in it, and my daughter's got stars in her pajamas. So that's why, that's the connection with the cut file. And I wanted a generic cut file. I didn't want it to be a tree or a word or anything like that. I wanted it to be shapes or something along those lines. And this one was perfect. Now, what am I painting this with? I use gum Arabic and mica powders with a little bit of water, and I make these little pots up. And essentially what the gum Arabic does is it turns it into a sticky substance. So when you mix it with some water and you mix it with your mica powder glues on and it doesn't come off. It doesn't wipe off once it's dry, nothing. So it stays there. So you get maximum payout for your mica powders. So that's what I wanted to go around the edge. Now, I like a kind of gold. I did mention in one of my videos the other day that the gold that speaks to me is this sort of gold. It's a real pale, reflective gold rather than a deep, dark, warmer toned gold. Now, I'm pulling out the centerpieces, and this part does take a little bit of time, and I don't make you sit through this. I know normally I leave everything in and I don't edit. This would be like watching paint dry, and you would all be clicking off and you would go and watch someone else's video because you wouldn't want to watch it. So what I'm doing is I actually pull all the centerpieces out of the cut file before I start tracing anything, because I need to know that my larger pieces are going to be over my favorite parts of the alcohol ink background, basically. So once I get them all out and I sort of sit them where they are, what I'm doing is I actually trace all of these pieces, and I use my gold Posca pen to do it, because that way if I miss it, you're not going to notice. You know, if I did it in, for instance, if I did it with my black Sharpie, which is what I would normally use on acetate, right? It would look really obvious if I don't cut it exactly in the right spot. That being said, I'm not concerned. It looks fine. I am showing you this is how I do a couple of these, and I show you how I trace a couple of these, and then I end up switching this off, because this part of it off, and I cut it because it did take me, it took me about an hour to get these cut, and I started sticking them together, but then I turned it on so you could see how I'm doing it and how I had done it. So it did take me about an hour to do this process in real time, and I'm having trouble with my pen because I'm using it to death. I need to buy some more metallic Posca pens. I like the fine ones. These ones are the 0.7mm ones. You can get metallic silver and metallic gold, and the Posca paint pen in the gold, it's the gold that I like. I call it the right gold tone, but of course there is no right or wrong with any form of craft. It's your own, so you make it what you want to make of it. It is, but I do need to get another couple of these metallic pens, because I've got heaps of white ones, heaps of black ones, but to be honest, last time I bought this, this is the first one I've ever bought, and I didn't know if it was going to work efficiently or if I was going to have the issue that I had sometimes with the white Uniball Signo pen. If you buy those individually, for some reason, I don't know why, but they just, when you're drawing a line, you get sort of dots and dashes as you're dragging the pen along. It doesn't, yeah, it's not a fan. So I buy mine in a 3-pack. And for some reason, buying them in a 3-pack, they always work. I don't know what it is. I have no clue. I'm not even going to stab in the dark at it. So as you can see, I am tracing around these. You can see that I've already traced around all the others, and it looks kind of crazy. So that's what I did. And here's where I cut it. So you can see that I am pulling all these bits and pieces off. The stars are all, and the circles, they're all different sizes. If you're wondering why, see all the different lines on top of that sheet? This is why I didn't make you stick around to watch this, because you'd go cross-eyed. I started cutting it using these Tim Holtz scissors on acetate, the bomb.com. You literally get perfect cut. You've got more control. I know with these scissors, they have a slight tooth edge to them, but right, so sorry, my phone just binged. And okay, so what am I doing now? All right, so I've cut them out. Now what I'm doing is I'm using my tape runner. I know this is a little controversial, right? But I'm using my tape runner on clear acetate. What I've done is I've gone through and I have attached the circles and the stars, all the white background that was cut out on the Cricut. I've now gone ahead and attached the acetate to them with tape runner. I didn't use a wet glue because it will react with the alcohol ink. The alcohol ink is now sandwiched between that white part, the CUTFILE, and the acetate. So it doesn't come off. So, which is the problem that I was having last time. Now, this is me. I literally, once I had that part done, the layout took 5 seconds. It come together super, super quick. Now, I literally put this together in 30 minutes this morning before my kids went to school. So, I apologize. That was so rude. Wow. I'm sorry. Didn't sleep very well last night. Okay, so this is the mica spray that I make myself. It doesn't leave an oily ring. It sticks. It's the mica spray mixed together with, so it's alcohol ink. Jeez, I've got it on the brain now. It's rubbing alcohol. I use Isocol here in Australia, and it's a little bit of Mod Podge and mica powder. That's it. It's awesome. It sticks. It doesn't come off, and it goes exactly where you want it to go, and it sprays out of the bottle. Or you can flick it, but I use my other one for that, my little tub. Now I'm just gluing down the CUTFILE. Bazinga. Perfect. So I needed that to be gold. I didn't want white on the page, if that makes sense. I've got 2 photos of my 2 children being silly. They were giggling so hard. Jen had an umbrella in her hand. Do you know how little kids, they try and it cracks me up, you know, like if they have a cowboy hat, like off a Toy Story doll or something like that, you know, like a Woody hat or something, they put it on their head and they think they're wearing a hat. Well, this was the same situation where, oh wow, that's really sad. CNN just announced that Annie, someone, I don't know her last name, she was in the 24 series. Just passed away. That's really sad. That's not nice. Okay, now, squirrel. Did I just squirrel bad or what? I'm sorry. You know what it is? It's because I'm really excited about this layout. I have to really say, I hope you guys like this layout as much as I do, because I absolutely adored how this turned out. I really, really love it. And if you give it a crack, please, I beg you, please put the photos up on our Facebook group, because it is just, I just love it. I think it just looks so, it pops so much, and it's got so much shine and shimmer. It just looks so awesome. So the photos of my daughters under an umbrella, as I got sidetracked before, it's just cute. So I wanted to scrap those photos. Trying to think, there's nothing else. So I used a Cut to You cut file. My title, I use the Happy Life Thickers. The Poppy Crafts alcohol ink. I will have all this written in the description below, but sometimes people like me to actually say what I've used. So I kind of try and compensate for both. And I do use a brushed gold cardstock. It's by Create and Craft. I bought it ages ago, and I don't even know if you can get it anymore. But it's fantastic. It's super heavyweight, and it was perfect under my photos. So I'm gluing these down, and I have to thank Carmel for this from Jim Boomba. She mentioned to me the other day on my live, and she's like, why don't you put the glue on the layout and then put the thing on it? I was doing I think it was lettering I was doing. I do not know why I have never done it that way. I don't know why, but it makes the process so much quicker. So I'm now doing that on everything. Thanks, Carmel. I appreciate that bit of information. This is what I mean. It doesn't matter if you think you know nothing or you think you mention it. because quite often we go down a rabbit hole and we just do what we've seen other people do, or we do what at the time seemed right, and we just continue with that practice until who knows when. So mention it, because Carmel mentioned it to me the other day, and now I'm doing it that way, and it's made it so much quicker. Look at those stars and circles. Don't they look awesome? These are the thickers. So these are the Paige Evans thickers, and they've just got a little bit. I was going to do a big title. I was going to cut an extra title, but once I got this down, I didn't want to cover it up. I didn't want to cover up all those beautiful alcohol colors and swirls and lead light looking. I didn't want to do that. So I just used these small thickers. They are the Happy Life thickers. I don't even know if you can still get them. Okay, just having a little fiddle around with some letters to make it make sense. So you mean the world to me. That's my title. And then because the stickers are white, I didn't want much white on this layout, okay? I wanted this to be completely different. I love it on the contrast with the black. And so by writing in the white and then having the white title, and then I'm just doing a fine white border with my Uniball Signo broad pen, and it's opaque, it's a pigment ink, and it sits on top. It's on top of your paper. It's beautiful. Just to give a tiny bit more of a border. I know I've got the white border, and technically I've got a border there, but I just felt like it needed something extra around the edge. So that is my layout, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I really sincerely hope that you enjoy this. Here's the close-ups, and I'm going to endeavor to try and get all the shine and shimmer for you so you can see all the reflection and whatnot on this page. I absolutely love how it turned out. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know if there's something I do that you do a little bit differently and maybe I could learn from you. That would be awesome. You can also check out my socials. They're all in the description below. You can send me a message. You can do whatever you like. I'm open to it, and I love to find out where everybody's from. So thank you so much for watching, and I will chat to you soon. Bye for now.